and we are planning to go for it, again for it. Now this time we are not doing Gasserian alone. Two reasons behind why we are adding Sphenopalatine ganglion block. Number one reason is we are repeatedly doing some neuroablative procedure, and we know that when you are repeatedly doing the neuroablative procedures, patient might be developing the deafferences pain, which might be having some sympathetic connection. And the patient is also having some baseline pain. We know that the trigeminal neuralgia, there are two types of pain. One is type 1 pain, where in between the two spikes there is no pain. And second, where the patient will be having some pain in between the two pain attack. So patient is having some pain attack in between the two pain attack. So patient is having the type 2 pain, and this is the reason why we are planning for the both Gasserian as well as the Sphenopalatine ganglion block. Pankaj, are you happy with my explanation?
Sir,
yes.
Yes, Sphenopalatine is clear now.
Can I be louder, please?
Is it clear? Yes. Yes.
Hello, your voice is interrupted. Can you repeat it again?
Yeah.
Hello.
Yeah. So Dr. Jadon is asking, now the patient pain has become continuous. So is it possible that the neuralgia has converted into neuritis?
I didn't understand your question. Can you repeat again? Let me come towards the speaker.
Yeah.
Can you repeat again?
Yeah. So Dr. Jadon is asking.
Yes.
Now the patient is having continuous pain. So is it possible that this neuralgia pain has been converted into neuritis pain now?
Yes. That over a period of time, patient might be having the type 2 pain.
Metal.
Even if it is a neuritis, the treatment is also same.
Yes, treatment is same.
Yeah.
If we are suspecting trigeminal neuropathy, if you are having the baseline continuous baseline pain along with the spikes of pain, the treatment is to include the Sphenopalatine ganglion.
Hold on.
Okay, Dr. Jadon is asking whether nerve stimulator is better technique for this kind of pain or repeat trigeminal neuralgia.
No, as I already told, the stimulation is doesn't have any action here. Here the possibilities are two. Number one possibility that we did some neuroablation, and second possibility is the patient is having the long-standing symptoms. So these are the possibilities. It's not that that which level is stimulated or like that. But hopefully the Sphenopalatine ganglion block will be working. Am I able to answer the question of
yes,
question?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Anything else? Till Karthik, are you ready?
Okay, asking, have we ruled out any vascular loop around the trigeminal?
Yes. This is elderly population. Patient don't have any vascular loop.
Come.
Okay, Karthik is almost ready.
Okay.
So Karthik, what are you doing first?
Okay, Pankaj, I'm going to start with the Sphenopalatine ganglion RF ablation.
Okay.
So
which side is this? Right? Left?
The patient's problem is on the left side. So the plan is Sphenopalatine ganglion on the left side and trigeminal V2 RF ablation on the left side.
Okay.
Now the patient is supine with the head slightly extended up. Now even though since the patient is supine and the problem is on the left side, I'm going to do this procedure from the right side because I'm used to doing procedures from the right side and I'm a right-handed person. The imaging is coming from the opposite side and he's fully monitored and he's consented, he's received his antibiotics, and since he has responded previously to the trigeminal block, we know he is going to respond positively, so that's why we have not done a diagnostic block. Okay? So starting off with the Sphenopalatine ganglion, so what I'll do is I'll start off with the lateral view. Morning when Dr. Neeraj Jain was explaining, he explained beautifully how to identify the Sphenopalatine ganglion. So one of the tricks is, like you are pointing out, to get a true lateral view. True lateral view meaning you have to image come lateral. You have to get the image of both the right side and the left side structures in alignment, so you don't confuse between which side you're doing, and you are not confused whether it's right side or left side. So my initial idea is going to be a true lateral image. So for that, once I get the lateral view of the face, I will try to align with the angle of the mouth. If not, I'll have to do a little bit of wig-wagging of the C-arm to get a true lateral image. Then we'll do the sphenopalatine. We'll also hopefully get a good stimulation for the sphenopalatine. We'll do the RF ablation and then quickly do a trigeminal V2. Clear?
Okay. So what stimulation will get on sphenopalatine?
Sorry?
What stimulation will get? Where will we get a stimulation?
Yeah, basically we are looking at, sphenopalatine ganglion contains a little bit of components of sympathetic, parasympathetic, but majority of the components are sensory, and that goes to mainly to the root of the nose and the base of the nose, so somewhere at around the hard palate, soft palate, that sort of region. So usual indications for a sphenopalatine ganglion block are things like sphenopalatine neuralgia. Sometimes we do it for atypical facial pain, and sometimes we do it for cluster headache, those sort of things. So that's the usual indications we get sphenopalatine ganglion blocks for. So right now this is more because of trigeminal neuropathy.
Okay.
So can you see the C-arm image now?
Yes.
Now you can see that.
Mark?
Can you lower the C, please?
Just show on the screen. Just keep a mark over the screen.
Sorry, Pankaj, what did you say?
Just go to the screen,
Yeah.
C-arm screen, and take a marker and
Yeah, that's
explain
nice
the
idea.
landmarks.
What is this? Can you get it towards me? Get the camera closer. This is okay. Okay, can you see the C-arm and my marker?
No.
Once you see it, let me know.
Yeah, ask him to come little slightly right side. Go right. Go right. Ask him to go right.
Move to the right. Just go turn it towards this side.
Towards you. Towards you.
Is it okay now?
He's going opposite.
Pankaj, is it okay now?
No. Little more. Little more right. Yes. Now it's clear. Yeah.
Clear? Can you see my marker?
No. Ask him to go right. Little more right.
Right.
Don't keep it in the center. Yes. Little more right. Yes. Clear now. Clear. Stay
Okay.
here only. Yes.
Okay, so
Yes.
right now I have a lateral view of the skull. Now this is anterior, this is posterior, this is inferior, this is superior. This is the oral cavity, as you can see, the angle of the mouth. The TM joint is here, that is probably C2. The auditory meatus is here. This is what Dr. Jain was explaining in the morning. This is the pituitary fossa, the clivus, Peter's part of the temporal bone, and the zygomatic arch itself is here.
Yes.
Now if you look very closely, can you see these two structures here? So these two structures are the pterygopalatine fossa on either side. That means I have not got a true lateral image, so I am getting two overlapping images. So you have the TM joint itself here, and then you have the zygomatic arch here, and then you have the mandibular notch, and then you have the ramus of the mandible going down to form the teeth. So the idea when you do a sphenopalatine ganglion block is to get into the mandibular notch, which is here. You can't see it well because there are two sides overlapping.
Yes.
So you have to get into the space between the zygomatic arch on top and the mandibular notch at the bottom. So on posteriorly you have the TM joint itself, anteriorly you have the ramus of the mandible. So if you go through, you'll go through the parotid gland and you'll go hit the pterygoid plate normally. So this is the one that we use for a blind or a paresthesia related mandibular nerve block. So right now our target is go slightly anterior and cephaloid and go into this fossa here. Right now I have to wigwag the C-arm so that these two fossa on either side coincide and become one. So that's the idea. Okay. So this picture is clear?
Yes.
Okay. Now we'll do the wigwagging of the C-arm,
yes,
and then hopefully we'll get a true lateral view. It is? Can you show it again? Okay, can you see there is a marked improvement in the C-arm picture?
Yes.
So right now you can see these two fossa here, they have come,
yeah,
a little bit closer. I wanted to go a little bit more closer.
Yeah.
Try not to touch the patient. Yes. Sure. Can you see it's coming a little bit, yes, more closer now?
Coming closer, yes.
Fantastic. Little bit more. So you can do either of the things. You can either move the C. Now can you see?
Yes.
This is the true lateral view.
Yeah.
So you can see one nice fossa. This is the inverted flower vase we are looking at here. So this is the mastoid. This is probably C1 or C2. So this is the pituitary fossa, clivus, Peter's part of temporal bone, zygomatic arch. So my point of entry is going to be somewhere here, and then I want to put my needle here in the lateral view.
Yes.
And then once I have done that, I'll go to the AP view, and I want my needle just lateral to the nasal cavity itself, slightly below the orbit.
Yes. Okay.
Image is clear?
Yes,
So
yes,
my
image is
target
clear.
is here. That's the sphenopalatine fossa or the pterygopalatine fossa. So basically, sphenopalatine ganglion is something that's hanging down from the maxillary nerve, and it's got components of sympathetic, parasympathetic, sensory, and very little bit of motor. So our target now metal. Any other metal you have? Forceps. He's been asking you for metal from that time. Okay, is the camera being focused on the patient now? Sure? Okay, can you see both my image
No.
and the camera and the C-arm image?
No,
Okay.
ask him to come over the patient. From lateral we can't see anything.
He's not able to see the patient.
Yes. Ask him to come over the patient. Yes. Yeah. Okay. Okay. Yes.
Sure?
Okay.
Sure? So that's pretty much where I want to enter, maybe a little bit lower than that. So that's the space below the zygomatic arch
Yes.
and above the mandibular notch that I'm going to enter. Okay? Sure?
Yeah. Clear.
Sure? Okay, so that's a good point of entry. Always remember, this patient is fully monitored. So always there's a possibility when you're doing a sphenopalatine ganglion that they can have something like a vasovagal, they can have a brady or something. So always watch out. Have your colleague monitoring this patient. Small injection, sir. Small injection. So I'm using 1% lignocaine for infiltration with a 26 gauge half-inch insulin needle. Always remember, when you go through at this angle, you have the facial nerve coming in your way. You don't want to block it. Okay?
Okay.
So I'm taking a normal 22 gauge spinal needle, or I'm taking an RF needle. I'm sorry, 22 gauge RF needle. Can you see the RF needle here? This is pretty much what Dr. Jain used in the morning. Can you see the RF needle in my hand? So this is the 22 gauge RF needle, and majority of it is the white part is insulated. 5 millimeter is the active tip. That's is the front, and it's a 22 gauge needle. So 22 gauge curved RF needle, insulated, 10 centimeter with a 5 millimeter active tip.
Okay.
Okay. So local is infiltrated. I'm going to go in through the same point of entry and then try to reach the fossa itself. Then we'll do a little bit of stimulation, and then we will do the ablation itself. Sure. So you can see my needle is going more or less towards the fossa. Now something has happened, either the C-arm moved or the patient moved.
Yeah.
Now the fossa is not clear,
We
so I
can
have
see
to do a
two.
little bit more wigwag.
We can see two fossas now.
Yeah? It's better now,
Yeah.
a little bit more.
Better. Little
Sure.
more.
Okay, so can you see the fossa clearly?
Yes, yes.
So my needle is more or less going towards the fossa, so I just have to move it slightly anterior and cephale. Sure? Looks good? Can you see the image, Pankaj?
Yes, yes. Clear.
Okay, so I'm going more or less towards the sphenopalatine fossa. Sure?
Okay, this is
Okay.
where we don't using the tunnel vision. Tunnel
Yeah.
vision is
Yeah.
not possible.
Yes.
Yeah.
This is one procedure where the tunnel vision is not possible.
Tunnel vision is not possible
Because needle entry point is through the mandibular notch, which is not in line with the sphenopalatine fossa.
just about entered into the sphenopalatine fossa itself. So I'll go all the way inside. Remember, the nasal cavity is not such a strong bone, so you don't want to enter through and through the nasal cavity.
If you are putting a little bit more force, it can go into the nasal cavity.
Yeah.
Okay, so it's more or less, I'm happy with the image. So we'll save this image and come to AP.
Okay.
Can you're all convinced about the sphenopalatine ganglion image?
Absolutely clear.
It's an excellent lateral view image.
Yes.
AP.
हाइट बढ़, हाइट। একটু এদিকে ঝুঁকি রাখতে হবে, তবে এপি হবে।
Now in AP you want your needle to come from lateral and you want it to be just outside the nasal cavity and little bit below the orbit itself, and then that's a satisfactory position in AP. So can you see the image now?
There's a needle.
Can you see the AP image now?
We can see the first. There's a needle. Oh yes. Okay.
Yeah, stop. Don't keep shooting. Shoot again once. Shoot once properly. Okay, I'll explain this image to you. Can you?
Yeah, I can see the needle.
Okay, so
But the position, I think.
can you see my pointer and stuff like before?
You want to go little up?
Can you see the image?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
So this is an AP view. This is obviously the orbit. This is the nasal cavity. You can see the nasal prong shadow. This
Yeah.
is the oral cavity shadow. This is the mandible shadow. Okay. Now my needle is coming in like that and then touching the outer aspect of the nasal cavity. So the nasal cavity outer orbit is here. So this is fine. This is the orbit.
Yeah.
Now I feel that it's more or less in the middle or slightly lower half of the sphenopalatine ganglion. But it is in the spine, sphenopalatine fossa. So what I'm going to do is pull it out and maybe go slightly more superior somewhere here.
Yeah.
So that will be a better position and I may get better stimulation. Remember that the sphenopalatine ganglion is basically arising from the maxillary nerve itself.
Yeah.
So I'm going to go slightly superior.
Is there any way we can avoid the maxillary artery there?
I have not encountered the maxillary artery that often, Pankaj. Luckily.
I have seen a
Sure.
case.
You have?
I have seen a case of maxillary artery puncture, and the patient came with a one-sided hematoma,
Sure.
facial hematoma.
See, the sphenopalatine ganglion in my practice is not such a common procedure.
Yeah, I know. It's
Sure.
very rare. Yeah, very rare we see.
So if in my practice I do about 3 or 4 sphenopalatine in a year, so that's not a very common procedure. So and the indications are also not that much. And can you shoot again? So you can see I'm trying to enter a little bit more superiorly in the fossa itself. I'll just manipulate it a little bit and then go a little bit deeper. Shoot. Okay, so I'm more or less where I wanted to go, and
Okay.
I'm happy with the position at this shoot. Okay, so that's my final needle position. So can you see that in the AP view?
Yes, yes.
Are you happy, Pankaj?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay,
Perfect.
now time for stimulation. So I have a 5 millimeter active tip. I'm going to put my thermocouple and then see how it goes. I'm going to need some Bengali translation though. Okay, so sensory stimulation, slowly. You have to. अभी कुछ झिंझिन लग रहा है बंगाली कुछ शॉक जैसा लग रहा है अंदर
ভিতরে কিছু ঝিনঝিন করছে কি করেনি না
इंक्रीज
Okay, Karthik.
করছে ঝিনঝিন করছে
Karthik.
यस
In the meantime, can you just ask him to zoom up this thing, fluoroscopic image?
ओके शो द RF this thing
No,
machine
no, not RF machine.
what do you want to see
The fluoroscopic image. They want to see the fluoroscopic image.
what image
Fluoro image. Fluoro image.
fluoro image
Fluoro image.
fluoro image that image
Yes.
okay PIP yeah PIP
Fluoroscopic
seeing PIP?
image. The AP view.
AP view are you seeing PIP
AP. They want to see it in a big screen.
show this okay अभी शॉक जैसा लग रहा है
লাগ রা ঝিনঝিন করছে ভিতরে ঝিনঝিন করছে
where is he feeling gingival where is he feeling gingival कहाँ पर है
কাহা পর মানে কোথায় করছে ঝিনঝিনটা
don't touch him
Come close. Come close to the screen. Okay, go right. Little
और
right.
ये
Go little right.
नोज वो नोज के पीछे कुछ शॉक जैसा लग रहा है
নাকের পিছনে কি কোনো চাপ লাগছে
Good. Yeah.
कहाँ शॉक जैसा लग रहा है
That's the orbit here.
ओके ठीक है इंक्रीज
That's a receptor here.
कहाँ लग रहा है
কোথায়
Even
লাগছে
here. Sir, not angle.
নাকের কাছে লাগছে হ্যাঁ নাকের নিচে লাগছে
below the nose
বিলো দ্য নোজ
okay see right now my stimulation is at 2.5 milliamps
So we are
and he is having some stimulation near behind the nose
Here.
Okay, so he's having some stimulation more or less in the soft palate, hard palate region. So I think I will take that stimulation. Okay.
Okay.
So I'm not going to do a motor stimulation here. I'm going to go ahead, give some local anesthetic and do the lesion itself. Okay. Acceptable?
Yes.
Okay, so since stimulation is off, I'm going to do negative aspiration. I generally don't give contrast for the Sphenopalatine. Attach local anesthetic syringe.
0.5.
Aspirated, negative aspiration. And then I'm going to inject about 1 cc of local anesthetic through a lower lock syringe. Tell him it will become soon ho jayega. So I've injected about 1.5 ml of local anesthetic. So I'm happy with the stimulation, I'm happy with the fluoro image, I've done a negative aspiration, and then time for RF lesioning. RF lesioning, 60 seconds, you can do 80 degrees centigrade.
So how many lesions? 2 or 3?
I'm going to do 2 RF lesions at 80 degrees centigrade.
80.
Local has been given, starting.
Okay.
थोड़ा सा अंदर गर्मी लगे. Any doubts when the lesion is going on? You can ask me if there is anything.
Okay. Ask him to show this RF machine.
Yeah, RF machine.
Yes. Just tell him to focus on the RF machine. Yes.
Okay, you can see the RF machine here. So on the left, are you seeing the RF machine?
Yeah, clear.
On the left side top, what you see is the impedance in ohms. So you are seeing 380 or 385 ohms of impedance. So that's acceptable. एक minute. कम हो जाएगा. एक minute. And on the right side, you see the temperature. The one on the red is temperature. So I have set it at 80 degrees centigrade. And
that is the actual tip temperature.
Yeah, actual tip temperature, and the set temperature is 80, so that's acceptable. And you can see the time is counting down from about 1 minute. So I have set it at 1 minute. So it's coming down, or it's going up to 60 seconds, and that's one lesion done. So I'll wait and then maybe pull the needle out and then turn the bevel 180 degrees, maybe go a little bit below, and then do another lesion.
Okay. So same 80 degree for 60 seconds.
Pardon, Pankaj?
Same.
Same.
Kinetics?
Can you shoot again, please? So I moved it up just a little bit away. I've turned the bevel 180 degrees.
Okay.
He's trying to create a larger size of the lesion.
Okay.
By rotating and by changing little position little bit.
Okay, so you're happy with the fluoro image?
So earlier the bent tip was upwards, now it is downwards. So we are having a larger size of the lesion.
Okay, so I'm going to...
Sir?
A little bit of local anesthetic and then it will start. Yes, Pankaj?
So what is the ideal time we should select for the RF ablation? Whether it is 60 seconds or 90 seconds?
Here we are doing 60 seconds, but the range can be 60 seconds to 120 seconds. It should not be less than 60 seconds. The actual the lesion time should be 60 seconds at least.
Pankaj, in my practice, I use a neurotherm machine. Neurotherm machine, you can set it usually at 90 seconds. So I usually set it at, if I'm doing a thermal ablation, I set it at 90 seconds at 80 degrees centigrade.
But the range is 60 seconds to 120 seconds. You can choose.
But normally what happens? The tip temperature, it takes around 8 to 10 seconds to reach.
Yes. What we do once it is going. You see, look at there. Once the actual temperature will be reached, then only we are taking a reset and then only again counting. So actual time what we are keeping on is around 70 seconds, not exactly 60 seconds.
Yes.
Because initially when the temperature is rising, it takes around 10 seconds, and then only once the temperature is reached at the desired set temperature, then we are putting the reset button, and then the counting of the seconds will be starting again. That means actual timing at the 80 degree is 60 seconds. It is not less.
And also this is a machine variability. In this machine you have to reset it once the temperature is reached. Whereas in neurotherm, the one that I use, only once if you set the temperature of, let's say, 80 degrees centigrade, only if 75 or 76 degrees is reached, the countdown will start.
Yes, some machine is like that. It will not be counting till the desired temperature is reached.
Yes.
So actual desired temperature timings, at the desired
1
temperature should be 60 seconds or more.
Local.
Okay, another sex.
Want to do the third lesson?
Yeah.
Okay.
So, the last lesion.
Any question? Any query?
One more.
So, the third lesion.
Okay, you are doing 3 lesions now.
Kartik wants to do the 3 lesions.
Okay.
He has not moved much, so that's why no local.
Okay.
Okay. Any questions from the audience?
But usually the sphenopalatine is not that painful.
Pardon, Pankaj?
Sphenopalatine,
Huh?
RF ablation of the sphenopalatine is
Yes.
not that painful. As any
Yes,
other.
that's true. Not only not that painful, it is not that difficult procedure. You know,
Yeah.
it is not done very frequently, and I have seen many are scared. Okay, sphenopalatine ganglion block. Oh no, it is so difficult. It's not difficult procedure.
Yeah.
So, but if we are focusing it, if we are
Huh? Lateral view. Okay. So
it's once the trick is
Sir?
we should be having a true lateral view so that
Yeah.
the sphenopalatine fossa is looking nicely
yeah.
like a inverted vase, and that is the tricks like ganglion ganglion. The foramen visualizing is the trick. So here also once we are visualizing the foramen the sphenopalatine fossa,
yes.
then the rest of the job is very easy.
okay, can you show once again the lateral image?
Lateral image again. Have you
Yes.
stored? Lateral
With the,
image is
with the
stored?
needle inside.
Okay, the lateral image is stored and they are showing it again.
With the needle inside. CM only, lateral only. Ah. Oh, okay, okay.
Okay, can you see the lateral image? Excellent lateral image.
Come slightly lateral, yes.
Like
Right
book
side.
picture.
Oh yes, clear. It's clear.
Inverted vase, the needle is placed exactly in the center.
That is overlapped, properly overlapped. And there's a knot, and it's going from here and going like this. You can be little go upwards also here.
Audience is appreciating.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
Excellent.
So we have almost completed that. Now little bit of the steroid, dexamethasone, and then there will be little bit
Okay.
taken out, and then the
Sir.
yes,
They want to see the fluoroscope.
fluoroscope,
Yes, lateral fluoroscope.
lateral
Not the
fluoroscope.
image, the fluoroscope, actual fluoroscope.
Actual fluoroscope is now in place in the AP.